Here's an interesting question to ask yourself. What space do you occupy? Think of your social circles. Are you generally a leader, the one who organizes the parties, the service projects, and the get-togethers? Or are you more comfortable in the back, kind of watching others step up and take charge? In today's Girlfriend Guide, Studio 5 contributor Kelly Jensen helps us dig a little deeper into this idea of holding space and the idea of looking outside ourselves to see other people's potential. Kelly, it's so good to see you.
Always love
this is kind of a new look for me. I haven't heard it explained in this way. What got you thinking about this?
I feel like I do my best thinking at the gym or in the shower.
You're a go girl? Like the brain is going.
Yes, I think that's what it is. And I have been taking high fitness, like I know you do sometimes, from our girl Emily for years and years. And I've just kind of planted myself on the second row. There's a big mirror in front of me. I can see her. I can follow the steps. I can feel the energy. And I got to class late one day and I was in the back of the room. The music started and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And of course I did, but I felt like I can't see her, I can't see myself, this is uncomfortable. And I started thinking, why, I need to be here next time up front to take up this space. And I looked ahead of me at the women who were where I normally stand and I was like, they're crushing it. They're doing so well, they're so happy. And it got me thinking about these spaces in our life that we occupy that maybe people are waiting in the wings ready to have a chance at that,
It's such a good metaphor for so many things because we're comfortable in that space. We're good in that space. Like you talk about thrive being able to see the instructor and you thrive knowing that's your zone.
Yes.
But then stepping back and allowing someone else to fall in.
I just think, how many things am I wishing that there was a space for me up there and there's just doesn't feel like there is. And I just think there are so many people that are just as good at that space or even better, that if they had a chance to step up and shine and see themselves clearly, who knows, what would happen.
So is the first challenge to step aside?
I think maybe, but I really think the first challenge is to be aware.
Yeah.
How often do we sit and think like, what is my place in my family? What is my place in my social circles? What do I do just because naturally I'm good at it or I was born into it or I have this comfortability and I enjoy it? What are those things and who else would enjoy this? Who else would be good at this? Who else could I make room for and they could come and see what they're made of.
And here's another side of that coin. I think everybody gets tired. Like I'm thinking of a good girlfriend who is that natural leader, who is always the one organizing and orchestrating the birthday lunches.
Yes.
And about 6 months ago, she expressed to me like, I'm tired. Yeah,
burnout.
I would love someone else to step up and do it.
I thought the same thing. And I think there's two sides to that, right? We have to be the ones to say, hey, Brooke, will you help me throw this party? Like, I'm tired. We have to send up our flair and say, like, I need a little bit of help. And also, we have to be aware of those friends that we maybe take for granted, those family members that just step in and do it and say, hey, how could I help you in this space? Like, you're so great to do it all the time. And most likely they would be like, yes. Thank you for thinking of me,
Yeah. This happens to us as adults as well as kids, like a coach, for example.
Absolutely. I think coaches, teachers, they can really make or break our kids. I've had experiences on both sides where a coach maybe saw something in my kid that they didn't see in themselves and they thrived under their mentorship and they made room for them and they gave them responsibilities that maybe they hadn't quite qualified for yet. And on the other hand, I've had coaches who broke my kids down or just wouldn't give them any opportunities because at that point they maybe didn't see the ability in them. I think it's important to look for potential. And along with coaches, teachers, we as parents are the same. We as friends, as sisters, as community leaders, as church callings, we can help people find themselves within these spaces.
Through invitations or assignments. What if you are that person, let's go from the other lens. What if you're that person who would like the chance, right? Or feeling the urge to plan the girlfriend lunch or step up and volunteer, and there isn't a space for you in that second row. You're stuck on row 4. How do you elbow your way in, or do you?
First things first, if you see that space, you be brave enough to jump in and take it. Be unapologetic about the space that you want to take up. If there's a group of people that you see that are having so much fun, call and say, can I be invited to this? We're too old to sit back and wait to be invited to things. I did this just last month. I was like, hey, I know you do this thing every month. I would love to come. Whether I get to go or not, I'm no worse for wear. It does not hurt me to reach out and do that.
Why does that feel so scary? Even as a grown-up girl, like that feels nervy to pick up the phone and say, "Can I have in your lunch bunch?"
Yes, but we have to take the opportunity and be brave. We want that for our kids.
Yeah.
We want our kids to do the same. We want our kids to be like, "Of course, I just didn't think about it." People are unaware. We are unaware.
And what did you say? We're too old to...
I'm too old to sit back and wait to be invited to things. I
like
either
that.
have to throw my own party, or I have to say, I would like to be invited to that. If someone says that to me, I'm like, of course you can come. I'm so sorry I didn't think about that beforehand. I didn't know. Mostly we're unaware. It's very rarely somebody's like, I don't want you in my group.
Agree.
Glennon Doyle said that thing about the circles and how we open them into horseshoes, and we're hearing that all the time. Don't make an exclusive circle. Open it and let people into a horseshoe. We cannot always invite everybody.
Sure.
But the times we can step aside on that row and say, come on up, you're gonna be so good at this, or come on in, you're gonna love this community. You're gonna love this friendship. You're gonna love this activity, and you're gonna be great at it. Don't you wanna be that kind of friend in person?
Absolutely, and you
I do
mentioned
too.
exclusivity. At the heart of this isn't about going to the lunch or being part of the circle. At the heart of this is inclusivity, right?
Really
Being
is.
inclusive.
It really is. And James Keller says, a candle loses nothing by lighting another candle. And you think about that. Our flame does not diminish by stepping aside and making room around us. Awareness is key. Who else would like this? Just because of where we're born, this lucky family full of sisters that we are into, or these family dinners that we get to have. Who else would love that? You know, who else can we make room for?
Let's talk about the on-the-ground ways we can make this happen. You say it can be as simple as a tag on social media.
Absolutely. Or quoting somebody, sharing a post that somebody has. You know, just recognizing something somebody is good at and giving those compliments, building people up. I have this girlfriend, and I always say, you are done eating burnt toast, because she'll take the leftovers, you know, like everybody gets something first. Does everybody have what they need? And I'll take whatever's left. And I say, you are too important to always eat the burnt toast. We need to say that to each other. We need to say, come on up, you belong here. Take up this space. You deserve it.
And sometimes that might look like asking for help. For raising your hand, and you're the first to say, wave the flag.
Wave the flag, send up your flare. How else will we know where to throw the lifeboat or where to find you if we have no idea what's in your head, or that you want to be on the second row? You know, and I get it. Not everybody wants to be up front. There's plenty of things that I'm fine in the back.
Yeah.
But how will the world ever get to see and use what your gifts are if you never step up and let them make them available?
We could just listen to you talk all day. Like, there's no pom-poms in your hand, but we're feeling the biggest rah-rah and the best warm blanket. So thank you so much. Holding space, giving space, taking space.
That's right.
It's about that inclusive feeling.
And there's
girlfriend
room
to
for
girlfriend.
everyone.
Love it, love you. Thank you so much, Kelly. This was a beautiful pep talk that we all needed.